Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting and workshop of the Hyde Park Town Board. It's Monday, April 6th. Please join me while we pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so tonight we have an executive session. We're talking with some people that are interested in the Rec Commission and volunteering for that. So may I have a motion to enter executive session?
Motion there.
And second? And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. And our first applicant is here. So just give us a couple minutes, okay, Will? And then come on in. All right, ready? Yes. All right. So may I have a motion to go ahead and return from executive session? No decisions were made. We were just talking with some potential volunteers.
Sorry, we're getting
Motion.
started, so yeah, it's going to be hard to yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So I forgot to discuss the acceptance of minutes. Did everyone get a chance to look at those?
Yes.
And
Make a motion to accept.
to accept in a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So the first item on our agenda is we have the former Recreation Commissioner CHERYL Wilson here, and we'd like to invite her up to thank her.
Come on up, Cheryl.
Come on up, CHERYL, and Kathleen is here too, and we have a seat.
Yeah.
And we have a very
Do a photo op?
certificate of appreciation for you.
Wow,
So thank you.
Okay,
Thank
right.
you so much for spending all
Oh,
your
this
time
wasn't
on
necessary, but I certainly did enjoy my time.
Well, have a seat. Well, we
Thank
wanted to.
Thank you.
Cheryl, have a seat.
Yeah. We'll put in. Kathleen, yeah, come on.
Kathleen, over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, get in there,
Get
Kathleen.
in here, Kathleen.
All right. Very nice.
Tell Emily's younger. She's always got a camera ready.
Yes.
Younger than me.
Well,
So Kathleen was just telling us about a number of the things that you did when you were on the Recreation Commission, and so let us all know, Kathleen.
yeah, well, Cheryl had come to us when I think you had just retired from teaching.
It would be the next year, yeah, 2006, I believe.
So that was your
Cheryl did
retirement.
a full term with us, a full 7 years, right?
I came on and filled in for someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had my stint as, a replacement for a year. Because the 7 years was a little daunting there. So I was like, okay, I'll do this 1 year and let's see how this works out. And then it was a no-brainer for the next 7.
So anyway, I wanted to let everybody know that Cheryl was really instrumental in some of our parks development plans, especially Greenfield Park. We put in a new pavilion there and planned a new playground, and We also, Cheryl was instrumental in beginning the Introduction to Fishing program there that we offer now annually in conjunction with DEC. So, Cheryl.
And hopefully that will continue.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's a
People love that, don't they, right?
I've heard good things
great.
from people. Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep getting the word out there of, of the date so that they know.
And when is the date this year? 25th?
April 25th.
Of April.
It's earlier this year.
Okay.
The first 2 years it was in June.
Yeah.
But our coordinator with DEC, he didn't have any dates in June, so he gave us April 25th, and from 9 to, I think, 12. 9 to 12. And so, we'll be running that again in conjunction with DEC.
And does that work in the sense they provide the fishing poles and there's stocked fish, and so the residents don't have to bring anything with them? Is that right?
No charge.
And
It's all free?
it's all free. DEC brings the fishing poles and the bait, and they help you, bait your hook and
That's good.
take the fish
Maybe I'll
off.
come.
And they also have it set up like little educational panels there, like on how to identify different fish. And so it's more than just a fishing derby. It's really more of a kind of a recreational and educational program. So.
Well, thank you for thinking of that.
And this year it's a Saturday. I'd like to, see
Yeah.
how it compares. The last couple of years it was Sunday, so
Yeah.
whether you get more response
well, that'd be good to
okay,
see.
on a different date.
Yeah, I think maybe we would, since it is a Saturday.
And if I'm correct, New York State does, 2 or 3 days a year where they allow you to fish without a license. So that's a day that they can come, and that's why DEC is there, correct? So if an adult doesn't have a fishing license, they can still
An adult,
fish.
right.
It's free for the
They've
adult. They don't
designated
have
it.
to have a fishing license for that day.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, well, thank you once again, Cheryl. We really appreciate your volunteering and all the good things you did for the town.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, all righty.
Yes,
Well,
thank you. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay, so we have Kathleen here, Kathleen Davis, our rec director, and one of the things that I've instituted this year is that we are looking for our department heads to give regular updates at the town board meetings. So all the town board members, as well as the public, are aware of what they're doing. So when you're ready, Kathleen, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually.
Well, that's kind of, we timed it for early spring so that people could kind of plan their calendars around that.
Okay, so I'll just start with, I'm going to hand out these are copies of the new recreation brochure for the spring and summer of 2015, which lists community event calendar. Most of the events on that calendar are free. They're either sponsored through the town or through some of our other service organizations. It also lists our information for our day camps, the one at Hackett Hill, and a couple of the specialty camps, 2 travel camps, and theater arts camp. And we also have American Red Cross swimming lessons that we offer to the public during the week and on weekends. And all that information is in there, as well as information on our parks. We have a couple of parks where you can actually, rent a pavilion, and for, family parties, any kind of event like that. Hackett Hill has a pavilion. Greenfield Park now has a small pavilion. Riverfront Park has a pavilion. And Pine Woods has a pavilion as well, a small one with the skate park. So all those facilities are available for people to reserve, on a weekend or even during the week. And so that information is in there too. And we also have the information on public swimming at Hackett Hill. There's memberships available, different types of memberships, youth membership, adult membership, family memberships. And the memberships will give you a free season pass to the Hackett Hill pool, and it also gives you a membership rate for any of our day camps and swimming lessons. And
Is this on the website, Kathleen?
yes, the brochure is listed on the website now, so you can go right to the town's website and download it or just view it. The registration form is also there, so you could download the registration form if you like, and complete your registration through the mail. You can also go to our online registration, which is ActiveNet, and the URL is listed there on the web or in the newsletter. And you can register online using a major credit card. And of course, you can always come into the office at Hackett Hill, at the Hackett House between 8 and 4, Monday through Friday, to register. So,
So we have a new feature this year at the day camp, right? The pre-K.
that's right. We're starting a new program. We've had a lot of requests for it through the years, so we thought we'd give it a try. So it's a half-day program for 4 and 5-year-olds at Hackett. And so, you know, if you're interested, give us a call. Or we also will be holding an open house, which we will post the date when that's going to be. It's usually a couple weeks before camp starts.
And do you have need for summer employees?
Yes, definitely. We are always looking for counselors, volunteers. We also do an intern program for 14 and 15-year-olds, which is free. It's funded through the Dutchess County Youth Bureau, and that is a training program to become a camp counselor. So we're always looking for, you know, the interns too.
And then they move into the actual paid employment? And
Right.
Are some of those positions available?
Yes, we
Okay.
do have some first-year, like junior counselor positions available, but
How
we're
about-
also encouraging the interns that did 2 years to apply,
Sure.
because they have the training and definitely valuable.
And how about lifeguards? Are you in need of lifeguards?
Yes, we do. We have a few openings. Some of the lifeguards have left. They've either graduated from college and, you know, have gotten real jobs, so there's always a couple of openings for...
And how would they apply?
Same thing. We have our seasonal job application online at the town's website that you can download, fill it out. If you have any certifications, attach that. You can come by the office, drop it off, or you put it in the mail, and you'll get a call and schedule an interview for the candidate to come in.
Great.
Yeah, so, and then we also have, you know, a couple of our parades coming up, the Memorial Day Parade, which is on Memorial Day, and our Independence Day Parade, which is Saturday, July 4th. And the theme this year is recognizing our local landmarks. So, you know, if you're interested in entering the parade with a float, that's the theme you have to focus in on, and there's competition and awards, trophy awards.
Interesting theme. I like it.
Yeah, the our Teen Activity Club actually picked out the theme.
Good.
So, and they're actually going to do a float as well.
Oh, nice.
So, and the Grand Marshal is Bob Linville,
Ah,
Great.
nice.
Yeah.
so we're excited about that.
Definitely.
Let's see. Going over everything. We have our Music in the Parks summer concert series, which kicks off the
Sponsored
first...
by Rhinebeck Bank.
Right, our major
We
sponsor.
appreciate that.
Yes, Rhinebeck Bank, thank you. That starts June 3rd, and it's the Hyde Park Schools, and it's going to be at Vanderbilt. So this year, they've actually reinstituted our old schedule, where we start at Vanderbilt, and the next week we go to Mills,
Okay.
and then we're back at Vanderbilt. So that'll be easy for everyone to remember. The past couple of years, the National Park Service sort of had to restrict the concerts there, so we really didn't start going to Vanderbilt till about midway through the concert season. So, yeah, we have a great lineup. Hyde Park Schools, the Strawberry Fiddlers, the Big Band Sound, the Greyhounds, Matt Jordan Oldies Band, the Bills Toupee Band, the James Osborne Band, Four Guys in Disguise, the Bearcats Jazz and Swing Band, West Point Military Academy Band, and Hot Rod.
Yeah,
So-
that looks like a good lineup.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a great summer.
It's great.
The weather is perfect each Wednesday.
I know, right?
It's a great time for people to stop in to the local pizza joint, pick up a nice pizza, and enjoy it on the lawn, and enjoy some good music, you know?
Right. So, let's see. Oh, we also have our new disc golf course at Hackett Hill Park, which is open to residents and families. There's no fee. You can just get yourself a few discs, which are Frisbees, in case people aren't aware. And it's a 9-hole course. And we have, on the front porch right now, we have the maps and we have the scorecards there for you to come by and pick up. But what we're working on is creating a kiosk right there, where the first hole is, right near sort of near East Market and the entrance to the driveway. There'll be a kiosk there with a map of the course and the rules. So
Nice.
Good.
that's about it.
So it just takes a regular-sized Frisbee, is that?
Well, it can get fancy. The professionals they
bring
carry
your own.
around a pack just like, the golfers, the pros, they've got
Like
about
9
12
clubs?
12 different discs with
Wow.
different, ranges
Really?
and
Wow.
angles and
Is that right?
yeah.
I
Yes.
had no idea.
I didn't either. I thought you used the same disc.
Well, you can.
No, they came in some
Chip shots? Or
Yeah. Kathleen, I noticed over at Greenfields, I think they've been repaired somewhat, but I guess there was some vandalism with the picnic tables over there.
Yeah.
Now, I saw that they were straightened out somewhat, but are they kind of weak now when somebody sits on them? Will they kind of fold in, or are they...
No, they're
Have you looked
still
at 'em?
yeah, they're still okay, but it's unfortunate. What we're
It's
trying to do is I contacted the company. They do make like another support you can add on to it.
Okay.
So you put like in the middle of the
Right,
the bench.
okay.
So that's probably what we're going to end up doing is purchasing a
I'm
few of
sure they
those and
probably got in the
installing
middle
them.
of it and jumped up and down, and it just kind of, crushed them a little bit.
Yeah, they're metal too. And
I know.
Wow, and they damaged them?
Yeah,
It's
kind
unfortunate.
of folded.
I mean, you can actually buy a new bench section,
Okay.
the component
Yeah.
itself, but we're trying to, make do with what we've got. If we can repair it, we'll try to repair it. And then if we have to replace it, I guess we'll have to replace it.
Right.
Did you want to mention the walkabout kickoff? It's coming up, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, actually, I wanted to hand out the newsletter.
Yeah, the Hyde Park Trails
Yeah.
newsletter, because
Thanks.
it's like a whole nother segment of
Yeah.
the rec department is the,
Is Seth
trails.
Lyons Day the same day as Hackett?
No, we've changed it this
Good,
year.
good.
Yeah, it was a conflict, and
Yeah.
they wanted to keep it on that day. I think it was the fourth day of September, I think,
Yeah.
the fourth weekend,
Yeah.
which is National Parks Day.
Oh,
And that was the thing, but we finally talked National Parks into saying we can't do it that weekend anymore. So we have our Hyde Park Trail 2015 Walkabout kickoff, and the Walkabout is the healthy walking program that we feature. And each year we have a new patch. So if you walk 5 of the 12 trails, you get a free patch. You keep a score. There's a little brochure, and you can come over to the Recreation or to Vanderbilt National Park Service, or even up to Mills and pick up your free patch there. So that walkabout kickoff is on Saturday, April 18th. And since we're featuring the ice yachting on the Hudson, we're going to be meet at the front of Belfield at the National Park site there near the Wallace Center. And there'll be a brief slideshow on the history of ice yachting inside at Belfield, and then afterwards we'll go for a hike around the grounds there.
Very nice.
sounds good.
Another great fun day on the trails, I believe it's June 6th, I believe, is the end-to-end. And I highly recommend that when, I think you posted on Facebook where they can have a reservation. You actually park at Vanderbilt. The National Park Service drives you up to Top Cottage.
Oh, nice.
And then you can either walk, jog, run from Top Cottage all the way to Vanderbilt, and then you can receive your patch at the end as well. I participated in it last year, and it was a lot of fun being on the bus, and people were there from all over the county and different states. There was one couple that they lived in Massachusetts. They said they come every year to participate in this, and they just really love it. They go to Eveready, get their pancakes afterwards, but it was a fun day.
Yeah.
And I ended up running it,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, it's
highly
about
recommend
9 miles, so it's, it's a good distance.
it. It was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. So.
Is the newsletter on the website?
That is, yep.
There's
Steve
a great
posted it.
video. I watched it this morning. It's a half hour about walking.
Yes.
And it ties right in with Hyde Park with sidewalks.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting ahead of everybody, and that's what it is.
Ahead of
It's
the-
really an interesting and
Yeah, how walking is really good for you.
for everything, for
All
the
the
town, for your
benefits.
body, everything, yeah.
Well,
Watch
just,
the half-hour video on how to walk.
Exactly, Ken. You'll need
All right,
it.
all right.
well, just to build on this walking theme, the town historian, if people recall, received a grant to create a historical walking tour, and that's going to be showcased or released on May 7th. We're going to have an event where we all take our historic walking tour, and she's created an app for people's phones and lovely brochures. So it's kind of cool. It's just this in this historic area just describes the different homes and offices and things of historical significance.
Great.
So
Yeah, that's exciting.
you can walk in the woods,
Yeah.
or you can walk in town, and so good.
Or you could walk in town and then go walk in the woods.
Play disc golf after.
And jump in the pool. And
Yeah.
That's right.
You don't have to run.
Okay.
And eat pancakes and go fishing.
Okay. Well, thanks, Kathleen.
Okay.
Thanks for
Thank
the
you.
update.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Beth.
thanks a lot.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cheryl, thank you very much again.
thanks
We do
again.
appreciate your volunteer.
Okay, so we have Jonathan Churins here to give us a water and sewer district consolidation update. Hello, Mr. Churins. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for inviting me out to speak with you again tonight.
Absolutely.
For our viewers at home, if I could give a quick background on what it is we're doing here. In about 2011, the town acquired grants through the State Department to study the various water and sewer systems that you have and move them forward. In 2014, the town took steps to form a reorganization study committee with representatives from your advisory committees for those water and sewer systems. And that group was charged with developing evaluations of engineering, financial, and legal components of those systems to fully understand their depth and breadth and how they need to be moved forward. This information was then consolidated into a study, which is now on your website and available for the public to review. The information was also put forward to the public in January and the beginning of February for all the water and sewer systems, defining the issues with each system, the good parts, the bad, how they could be moved forward, and there was a plan also put forward to transfer the systems to my organization, which is the Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority. In February, the town had a public hearing where the public was able to speak for or against the possible transfer of these systems to my organization. After that, the town then had a meeting and then declared its intent to transfer the systems to my organization. And the county has now taken the steps to create the zones of assessment for the water systems, as well as the Park County sewer districts and possibly zones of assessment underneath where it matters. The process has been moved to the point where the legislature of the county will hold a public hearing on April 13th to hear from the public on the project. They will then have the opportunity to vote on the resolutions that they've put forward to create the zones of assessment, the Park County sewer districts, sometimes zones of assessment underneath, as well as to approve the service agreements with those districts, allowing the Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority to own and operate those systems and move them forward. At the conclusion of that process, it will trigger a permissive referendum period where the public will have an opportunity to take action on the process. We anticipate by June we will be able to have the process completed and move forward to the actual transfer and assimilation of the systems into the Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority. So we are on schedule, moving the systems forward, completing the consolidation and transfer process. We'll obviously be talking with you more about how we will, if you choose to continue with the process, the districts are created, how we will transfer and assimilate those over the coming months after the districts are created.
What would be the next action you'd need from this board?
We will be back to you on that, but essentially the next steps will be the agreements between our entities to define how the systems will be transferred and how the assets will move over. It's pretty much laid out in the plan that was developed and attached to the study, but we'll have an agreement, an MOU that states how the town will divest itself of those components, and speak specifically to any systems that have debt that needs to be reassigned, or how we will work with you in the future with that debt.
Perfect.
And if our residents of these water districts want to show support or not support this, this is the time to contact their legislator, correct?
April 13th would be their opportunity to speak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That would be the best time.
And that takes place at the
The Dutchess County Legislature and their
floor 6?
in their office at the 6th floor,
Yep,
22
at
Market
the
Street.
county office building.
Correct. If you know where the DMV is on Market
Yes.
Street, you go into the elevator and upstairs, and that's where it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Well, it's been a pleasure to work with you, working through this.
It's been a process.
It's been a process that we began a long time ago, and I've learned a lot. A lot. I wish I knew what I know now when I started. It would have entirely changed my perception and how I would have dealt with it. But, that's learning. So, but it really has been a pleasure to work with you and Bridget, and I believe that this is the best course of action for the residents of those districts, for those customers.
Yeah.
We have a lot of deferred maintenance, a lot of projects that need to be, to bring these, build these systems up to speed, and you guys are just the people to do that. Much more, you're going to be able to provide the oversight that really the town, we just don't have that mechanism.
Right, and some of the systems have significant capital improvements that are needed.
Absolutely.
The main one that we all know is Pine Brook Sewer,
Right.
and we're actively working to try and find, grant money
Right.
and other funds to, try and
Well,
offset their costs.
We would be able to do that as well, but what we would have a hard time with is just managing the project, because these major capital improvements take major involvement and expertise.
Right.
And that's what you guys have.
And I think one of the items that the town has acknowledged through the entire process is that you're subject to biennial elections, and
Yeah.
there's a potential for a complete reboot on the knowledge that the town would have.
Yeah,
And a lot is lost in that process.
without a doubt.
What the Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority brings to the process is, a set of professionals that work
Yeah.
on these continuously, and we're not subject to that upset that may occur every 2 years.
Yeah,
Or-
what I
or
was
6.
alluding to is if I knew then, or if I knew then what I know now, I would have definitely suggested that we have some sort of facilities manager, because it's not just the water and sewer districts that have suffered. It's just the maintaining of all our capital assets really could have used that, real estate in particular, so.
Over the years, yeah.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of, cost rolled into those water and sewer systems, and, like your buildings for the
Yeah,
town hall and
exactly.
so on, without having a superintendent to manage them,
Right.
that information, the continuity is lost, and you
Absolutely.
don't have someone advocating it in the budget to identify why those
Exactly.
improvements are necessary.
Exactly.
Great.
Okay, well, thank you again, Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan.
And I have one question. Did you say the service agreements would be ready by the public hearing, or do you know if those?
So it's actually a different kind of service
This is not the
agreement.
one with the with the town. This is a
Correct. This is not the one with the town. This
Okay.
is the one that allows the Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority is a public benefit corporation, and the county is able to create the taxing entities that we use to assess the capital costs of improvements. So to create the relationship and the bridge, we use a service agreement between the two entities to allow us to effectuate what we need to there. So later we will have an MOU and agreements with the town to move them forward, which is what I think you are interested in. And
Yes.
we'll get to that in the next couple of months. We've been pushing very much to keep the project on the transfer process that the town was seeking.
Okay, good.
Great.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Have
you,
a great night.
Jonathan.
Thank
Take
you
care
again.
now.
Thank
Yep.
you, John.
For your help.
Okay, the last item on the workshop is really just a quickie, because we've resolved a lot of it, right? I mean, in discussions with many in our business community, certain items were brought to my attention in ways that we could improve the process for our entrepreneurs, for our business community, and we are working on a number of approaches. One, we started a long time ago by acquiring new software, Municity, which you've heard me talk about all the time. But part of that will be to get a lot of our permits applications online, which would really be of good service to the people, not just businesses, but residents. If you are going to get a new generator or a highway permit or a lot of those, at least you could get the document online and then perhaps fill it out and send it in. But then one of the items that was brought to my attention is that we require certified checks for permit applications. And we originally thought that it might be part of the code, but I think that you ascertained that, in fact, it's just part of our fee schedule.
Yeah, it was related to us that it was part of the code, but it's not. I couldn't find it. It doesn't exist. But there is a provision in the fee schedule which requires certified checks for building permits.
So I did a informal survey of my colleagues in the Mayors and Supervisors Association, and the majority, or all that replied, none of them require certified checks, except for the town of Wappinger requires certified checks over $500. So I think we might want to just kind of discuss that or think that through. But we need to, this is kind of a housekeeping issue as to who will follow up on, apparently that was the issue, as to which department would follow up on those who delivered bad checks. And that was, I think the bookkeeping department felt that it should be the building department felt it should be the bookkeeping. So it's just something we'll have to kind of noodle through and just come up with a plan. But I'd like to, it seems like an easy fix if we could help, so.
Are you recommending that $500 threshold?
I'm not, I'm kind of,
just-
I don't know, does
yeah,
anyone have any
yeah.
input on that?
If there's only one other town doing it, I don't see a reason for it, and I don't think it's going to be much of an issue, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I think it'd be easier for the applicant,
Well, I think what happened is, as my understanding is that apparently sometimes bad checks were issued, and then the CO was given before it was, before they realized that the check was bad, and then they didn't have any way to recoup it. So that was the thought process behind requiring certified checks. But it seems like that should be an easy thing to solve. Like hold the COs
You can hold
until you have,
until the check clears.
Until
and
the
then-
check
and,
clears, yes,
that's not- Or revoke the building permit in the event that we can have it on a fee schedule, that if a check is dishonored, that the building will be the building permit will be revoked. There are many ways of dealing
So-
with it, other than requiring certified checks.
okay,
Oh, great, yeah.
okay,
If their
good.
checks bounce, they're not going to bill much.
Yeah. So we just need to have a resolution to alter the fee schedule, or how do we do that?
Well,
Okay.
we'll
We'll
talk
kinda
about it,
figure it.
and then
Okay.
we can
Yeah,
decide.
that's an easy fix.
And then we can come up with a resolution. It doesn't have to be a local law, just to amend the fee schedule. It's
Okay,
really not
wonderful.
a difficult problem to solve.
Ah, I love that. It's not a difficult problem to solve. So unique. All right, good. So we don't have any public to comment on the resolutions only.
Guess not.
So we'll just speed through them.
All right,
Possible.
sorry. Jumping right in. Resolution 461 of 2015, resolution approving New York Certified Electrical Inspectors as additional electrical inspection agency for the Town of Hyde Park pursuant to Chapter 51 of the Town of Hyde Park Code.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye. Proposition 46-2 of 2015, resolution accepting donations for the 2015 Music in the Park from the Hyde Park Knights of Columbus and the American Association of Retired People.
Second?
And these are two donations from the Hyde Park Knights of Columbus, $150, and AARP, $50. And as Ken mentioned, Rhinebeck makes a substantial donation of $3,000, and the town picks up the balance, which is about $3,000. And so it's definitely a cooperative effort.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a big help.
So all in favor?
Aye.
I'd love to see some way of passing a can or some way that people who come from out of town, can chip in if they've
They
enjoyed the
did- they
concert,
usually- They had in the past, I think.
From what I'm told from Kathleen Davis, at the National Park Service,
Oh, they won't allow that.
they won't allow that.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I think if we were using like our own park, we could
yeah, I
do
think
that.
You could do it at Mills.
Mills, we probably.
Mills, you could, but at National
At the
Park
National
Service,
That makes sense.
you cannot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No green money is allowed.
We can hold, on their way to drive in. Before they-
Probably have to get DOT approval for that.
Like they have in
No,
Rhinebeck.
my brother came from out of town, and he said, if someone was collecting, I'd
Yeah.
certainly contribute,
Sure.
so,
I wouldn't come again.
sorry. Let's
No,
get
it's
off
a good
track.
idea.
The only town, a lot of them do.
Moving on.
Yes, please.
Resolutions 46-3 of 2015, resolution supporting the New York State Climate Smart Communities Pledge.
And we had a nice
Second?
workshop
Yeah.
by the CAC, and so it seems like a good thing to do. So we have a second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 46-4 of 2015, resolution approving a request from Regina Caeli Church to conduct a fireworks display on Saturday, May 30th, 2015.
Second?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 465 of 2015, resolution accepting grant awarded by the Justice Court Assistance Program for the 2014-15 cycle.
Second?
And I just got to give a major shout out to TC because the clerks for the justices always put together this grant application and they do a great job. But he realized that we needed a new server over there, so he had asked the clerks to amend it. And so we got an additional $5,000 by him thinking of that.
Great.
Awesome.
Excellent.
So,
Did we vote?
did we vote? Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
Resolution 46-6 of 2015, resolution authorizing a lease agreement with the Culinary Institute of America and the town of Hyde Park for senior AQUA aerobics.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 46-7 of 2015, resolution authorizing purchase of a used motor vehicle to be used as part of the Town of Hyde Park's Police Department's fleet of police vehicles.
And we have a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 46-8 of 2015, resolution authorizing the use of govdeals.com to auction surplus police emergency equipment, which the chief and lieutenant went over at the last meeting.
Yep. Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 469 of 2015, resolution approving budget revisions to the Town of Hyde Park for the period of March 2015.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 46-10 of 2015, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a closing certificate and supplemental agreement for the Environmental Facilities Corporation in order to complete the transaction development for bond pricing schedule for July 21, 2015.
Second?
And this just is a resolution that allows us to refinance the landfill bond. And we did this last year with, I think it was the Greenbush debt, wasn't that? And basically, we're refinancing at a lower rate.
Lower rate.
So we save some money by doing this. So all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I shouldn't have cried, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Resolution 46-11 of 2015, resolution acknowledging resignation of confidential secretary to the supervisor, Marie Smith.
So it is really sad, and it's a tremendous loss for me and for the town because Marie Smith was a fantastic secretary and a wonderful person and really gave her all for the town. And she's moving up and on and up in the world and moving to the Water Authority. She had taken a civil service test and scored well and was offered the job, and they're lucky that I'm even speaking to them anymore because I really am going to miss her tremendously. So, of course, we wish Marie the best.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, do we have a second?
I won't second it. I'm not seconding, no second. No.
Not gonna happen.
Not me.
All right, I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
I think she still resigns. Even if
Yeah.
authorized it.
Pretty
I
sure.
don't
Yeah.
think you can prevent it.
Well, there was a very nice going-away party for her today, and nice job, Supervisor.
Oh, thank you.
Resolution 46-12 of 2015, resolution approving of salary for the new confidential secretary to the supervisor.
So we must have a secretary, and so we have interviewed numerous people and found a very, very qualified applicant with a very strong legal background. She's worked for various attorneys and is a paralegal, and that will be a tremendous asset. And so we look forward to welcoming Mary tomorrow.
I'll second it.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 4613 of 2015, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign a municipality opt-in for the Dutchess County Joint Government Efficiency Plan.
So I think I went over this a couple other times, but if you would like an update, it's in order for our residents to receive the rebate checks, the New York State government is requiring that municipalities have lived within the tax cap for 2015 and also submit an efficiency plan, which shows projects a reduction in their tax levy of at least 1%, using 2014 as a baseline. So municipalities could go it on their own, or the New York State has encouraged them to join together in one efficiency plan, and Dutchess County has provided that option for us to be the lead on that. And so it doesn't seem to have any disadvantages to going with them, and possibly some advantages, because I'm hoping they'll somehow reduce paperwork that's required. I'm optimistic anyway, so that's what that is. So,
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 46-14 of 2015, resolution authorizing tax assessor vacation carryover.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I'm going to just suggest that we go into executive session just to discuss the recreation position. Do you guys have, and then just for a few minutes, and then we'll be back out, but you
Why don't I come in with you for 2
Okay,
minutes and
all
then
right.
just give you a little
Okay.
bit of update? So,
Okay.
Okay,
So
I
can I
make
have
a
a
motion?
motion? Yeah.
That's on a
Second.
litigation issue.
And all in
And
favor?
personnel.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I got it.